2% is better than any Zillow lead will ever be. Number two is that's what I think a true partnership looks like. And, when you can convert at 2% and you can work it together and you have great follow-up and you're continuing to be able to have those high touches, you're going to be successful.
Hey, this is Jeff Cohn with another episode of the Team Building Podcast, where we interview top team leaders, broker owners, and thought leaders from across the industry. Super excited today to have Nick Zwiebel in the house with me in the studio. Nick Zwiebel heads up and runs as the CEO, the vertical within Windsor Mortgage, and we'll be speaking at our upcoming Team Building Summit. And we have the CEO and owner of Windsor, Chris Vinson, with us, hailing from Scottsdale, Arizona. He also lives in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Chris, welcome to the podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Super excited to have you on. I'm excited. Chris has just committed to being one of our keynote speakers at our upcoming event, the Team Building Summit, May 31st through June 2nd. He'll be on stage the second day on June 2nd. Chris, let us know what we're going to be hearing about. Of course, it's not just mortgage. I know you have a lot of experience in leadership.
Yeah, I really want to bring to you a topic called live and local. I think that's the main thing that we should be concentrating on for this year. I know that's my theme is that how do we continue to get more live into our markets? Where do I get more face-to-faces? And how do I stay, in a sense, local into my region? I think that there's a lot of companies out there trying to compete, but we're going to win by staying live and local. And I'm going to bring you 5 tips that I think you could bring back in through your team, regardless of what your business model is, that you could implement right away and that you could actually make a difference in your market.
I love that. Live and local. I think sometimes we get beyond ourselves. I know I personally probably scaled in some areas too quickly and took for granted that I probably hadn't reached the point of economic growth, or what do you call it? Economies of scale. And so eat up as much as you can in your own hyperlocal area before you choose to expand on to the next. So you have a lot of success, Chris, of course, with Windsor. I don't know if it's called Windsor Mortgage, but do you want to speak a little bit to the company that you've built?
Yeah, I mean, I started off as a mortgage broker in 2008. A bank bought me. It was sheer luck. 2009 was 2009, and then and then in 2016 we had market share of the city about 23% since 2012, and we have 21% of the market share of the state. And it was tearing me up that we were just as good as what the state was. And so what did it look like? We had this footprint. We knew how to do it. And we had something, in a sense, to your point, is that we had a landing step. Now, how do we grow it from here? Mm-hmm. And I have a huge passion of coaching and working with mortgage companies. So literally it started with community banks. We started helping community banks do mortgage. And typically community banks aren't very good salespeople. Their follow-up's not that good. They needed systems, they needed scripts. And then that just naturally ran through to mortgage companies, and then continuing to be able to grab all of those states across the country. So we're excited that we are in every state. Some days that's good, some days that's hectic. But it's our passion that, yes, for a living, we do mortgages. But what we do to get mortgages is we believe in giving. And so how can we give? How can we help? How can we help a young entrepreneur be able to grow that little business? There's so many aspects to it, like recruiting and running the numbers and understanding the P&L and management and day-to-day staff is one of our things that we constantly are working on with our customers. So Windsor's a wholesale division. Our community bank is called Plains Commerce Bank, and that's in South Dakota. We're just a community bank. Of course, we a large footprint in mortgage, but we do all the products across.
Awesome. Could you speak to the numbers, just because I know you guys do a lot of business, and for anyone that knows the mortgage industry, how many loans is Windsor behind every year across the country?
Yeah, this is really an interesting year because a lot of wholesale companies went out. And that really gave us a good position. I didn't see that this was going to happen. Again, this is probably a little bit kind of like '09, it just kind of happened. But, we're doing between 5 to 600 million right now a month. Our goal by the end of the year will be $1 billion a month in originations in the wholesale game. And that's broken apart in whether you were doing a non-del relationship or a broker relationship, or we have a community bank product that helps community banks basically A to Z handle everything. So right now, I always tell my staff, I go, look, if it was up to me, I would grow all the way to $1 billion today. But the smart thing to do is to grow in steps.
Yeah, don't break
so
it.
We grow, and then we hang out and make sure everything's right, and then we grow. And I go, that one step down don't hurt as bad as a slide.
Yeah,
those slides really hurt.
Yep. So that's really interesting. So in a hard market like we are now with the interest rates climbing, you've seen a lot of wholesale brokerages go out of business. Now people are turning to you. So your numbers are actually up right now.
Yeah, we are up. When 3 or 4 major companies go out, the advantage is we're a community bank as well.
Yep.
So our cost of funds is typically less than, someone that is using a warehouse line or raising the money. So that did help us through. I see a huge change. Yesterday, I probably wanted Powell to say it a little bit differently, but I think the market really truly gets where we at. I think that we're on the turn of inflation. He feels like it's going to take a little bit longer. I can tell you right now, most of the bond investors, and that's who I really listen to, are already putting all of their plays in that inflation is on its way out. And those guys are so far forward into the market. I remember 2 years ago talking to some bond investors and a really, really big company, and they were all putting their plays in for inflation. So they were shorting it. And what we're seeing today is that they're going to continue to see and invest into that bonds and treasuries. For instance, just look at the 10-year. It's got great movement. It's in the 3s. And I think that that's a good number, whether you're in real estate or mortgage, to really, truly be watching.
Awesome. Nick, did you understand all that?
Yeah.
So for my listeners listening, I did not understand all of it. That's why I'm going to attend the Team Building Summit and be a part of that and learn from Chris. I'm really excited to hear what he has to share with us on leadership and his 5 bullets. Guys, if you listen to that, $500 million a month right now, the mortgage business's net profit's really similar to a real estate agent's commission net profit. So you can add those numbers up, but working towards getting to the $1 billion a month. I loved what you said on growing slowly. It's tough as a visionary. You want all your implementers to keep up, but you don't want it to break. And we definitely don't want to go backwards. So I love how you guys are building it out and doing it the right way so you can serve your clients. Love seeing that you're a community bank and you're doing some amazing things. Nick, how long have we been working with Windsor, and what's your experience been so far?
Yeah, so we started working with them in fall of 2020. At that time, with the craziness of COVID, a lot of lenders were kind of backing off of doing certain types of loans or processes because rates dropped. We're just not very good. So it took a lot longer for turn times, for loans to get done, missing closings, and so forth. Was happening all across the nation. Got introduced to Windsor, and they said that, hey, it's still business as usual. We're closing on time. And what I really love about Windsor is they do what they say they're going to do to help, the brokers, loan officers, and make sure the customers close on time. That's the biggest and most important thing, making sure the process is there and closing on time every time. So, so it's been about 2.5 years and just been amazing. And it's by partnering with Windsor has helped Exarban Mortgage grow much quicker than we ever thought possible.
And I know this year we're on pace to do about 120 million. So, hey, we're adding about 10 million a month, hopefully, or close to it, to your guys' numbers. I hear we won a few awards with Windsor, I think a few months past, because a lot of wholesalers are going out of business. One of the things we've done that's a little unique, and Chris, I'd love for you to speak to this as well, as far as what you're seeing in the success of mortgage companies like Exarban Mortgage. One of our unique selling propositions is that we have incubated our book in parallel with or in conjunction with real estate agents who are out there moving and shaking and putting deals together. And we even share in the cost through strategic partnerships and lead generation. So right now in our Omaha office, kwelite.com, if anyone wants to check out our website, we're generating over 25,000 unique visitors a month to our website, and 10% are registering. So we get about 2,500 leads a month. Most of that's paid for by Exarban Mortgage. And then out of the 2,500 leads that come in, 2% end up going under contract. And so we have Exarban Mortgage loan officers that are working leads parallel to real estate agents that are working leads. And of course, the realtor refers stuff over to the mortgage company. The mortgage company refers stuff over to the realtor, and it creates that symbiotic relationship. And I think a lot of mortgage companies struggle because they're just sitting out on an island somewhere. And so when the market does start to weaken up a little bit and there's not as many agents, they don't know where to go and they go out of business. Wells Fargo, I think just 2-3 months ago, announced they closed their entire mortgage division across the country. And that's painful. So what are you seeing, Chris, for the people that are staying in business from a mortgage standpoint? What's keeping them in the business?
Well, I mean, you said a lot right there. I just want to make sure everybody caught it. First of all, 2% is better than any Zillow lead will ever be. Number two is that's what I think a true partnership looks like. And, when you can convert it 2% and you can work it together and you have great follow-up and you're continuing to be able to have those high touches, you're going to be successful. Wells made a shift to get out of the wholesale side and they're still doing it on the retail side a little bit. And that was really her vision. She's more of a retail person anyway. Look, I think going forward, these true partnerships this is what the client wants. They want a connected realtor and a connected mortgage person to be working all in towards their benefit. And that if there's one thing that I feel like when I work, I grew up working with realtors. I always looked at a refi, sure, but realtors is where I learned, because when I started, rates were high eights and no one was refinancing. In fact, embarrassing enough, 6 months in, I didn't even know how to do a refi. I had to go ask somebody because I didn't even know how to do it. But this market is going to take a two partnership. And when you do it like this, Jeff, here's the thing. They don't shop because they're connected.
100%.
They've got their team. They've got the support. They know they can work with Jeff. They just know that this is what I want. And they're not going to chase no internet thing or someone flashes something in front of them. Go check this out because my brother, sister's cousin used them type deal. And one more fact. Over 60% of the population has had a bad experience in real estate or mortgage. And when you work with a team like you and you work with a team set up like this, you're going to ensure them to have a good experience. And that's what I love about your setup.
Perfect. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. We are really excited, and we've talked a lot about the one-stop shop. We created what we'd call a hybrid office 3 years ago. And literally, Chris, when we host you here, I don't know if you've had a chance to visit yet. We definitely want to bring you here. When you come in the front door, you're entering a real estate office, but we've built it like a WeWork space. So all the verticals are right down the hallway across the hall from the conference rooms. And so you literally in order, mortgage company, insurance company, title company, from office to office to office. It is an assembly line. And of course, we do capture way more business doing it, but it's a better value prop for the consumer. We're right here in the office. Everybody's working together and we share each other's data legally. We get permission from every vertical to cross share the data. So when you enter into our system in our CRM, everybody can see all the leads and they all have different touch points based on where the lead's at in the transaction. So when a deal goes under contract, for example, it goes into pending in mortgage, and same thing for real estate in the real estate transaction, that automatically alerts our insurance company that a mortgage just went pending or a real estate transaction went pending. And then the insurance agents reach out to offer the insurance. And so everything's talking together, working together. And I think you nailed it. If you don't have that agent working in a hybrid capacity or a mortgage lender in a hybrid loan officer capacity, you're going to be losing a lot of opportunities. And to survive today, you have to play together.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one thing that I love to teach, which is triangle of trust. And when I think about this setup, and you think about there's 3 points into a triangle. I wasn't very good in geometry, so I can't tell you what the next shape would be for all your different points. But in a sense, they're connected. And that's what the consumer wants. And when I think about this setup, I think about you made it easy for me. And when you make it easy for me, I'm I'm going to move forward. It's going to be a very easy decision. When I go buy something and someone makes it easy for me, you don't have to be the lowest price. You just have to give me great service, keep me communicated, make sure I understand it, and then do what you say. And the rest, I'm going to refer the pants off of you, because that's exactly what the consumer wants. And technology can't do it.
I love it. I agree with you 100%. We're using the tech piece for drip emails, but it takes human interaction, human connect. So just so all our listeners know, most know our lead conversion best strategies to get that 2% conversion ratio on internet leads. Over the last 10 years, we've generated 1 million visits to the website, 100,000 people registered, and 2,500 bought or sold real estate with us, of which we generated $20 million of commission income. That was following a process of 10 calls, 2 texts, 2 voicemails, drip emails, and then listing alerts based on the homes they looked at on the site. In the mortgage business and in the insurance business, we've been following 3-3-3-3, 3 automated emails that go out, and then 3 phone calls accompanied by 3 voicemails if they don't pick up, and 3 text messages saying, hey, I just tried to call you and I left you a voicemail. Just that one tiny personal touch element keeps us different than everybody else that's out there, because most might make 1 call or shoot a text or try to rely on email, and the consumer's tired of that.
Yeah, they are. Hey, look, I always want everybody to know that there's a fire. So I do call, text. If I do call, text, they're going to think, oh my gosh, something's wrong. I got to call her back.
There's a fire.
Right.
I like that.
And I just learned it because that's how my buddy always used to get a hold of me. And then it freaked me out. I called him back and I'm like, why should I reinvent the wheel? I'm just going to copy it.
911.
911. Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
yeah, I love your follow-up.
Thank you, Chris, so much for coming on. We could obviously talk for hours. Nick, thank you for coming in studio. Nick and Chris will be at the event. They'll definitely be spending time after they speak as well with you if you want to be able to have some FaceTime with both of these gentlemen. Exarban Mortgage is also going to be a sponsor at the event, and we'll have a table there. So for anyone that wants to come out or wants to learn more about our upcoming event, May 31st to June 2nd, go out to theteambuildingsummit.com. You'll fly in on the 31st. We have an event welcome party, and then all day June 1st is team building. All day June 2nd is all the different verticals, including the mortgage vertical. We have the CEO of Windsor coming, doing almost $6 billion this year, on track to do $12 billion a year in volume, which is absolutely incredible. So, Chris, I look forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks from now. Good luck at golf, and we appreciate you coming on our show today.
Thank you. See you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, Chris.